Hey guys, Dr. Karim Ellis, speaker, teacher, trainer. No, wait a minute, time out, flag on the play. I'm not doing this justice. Let me get this off because I need y'all to be able to hear me crisp and clean. We can't have no confusion on this message here. Dr. Karim Ellis, speaker, teacher, trainer, #1 breakthrough strategist, and I am happy to be a part of Kern Sherry's Power Up Summit. I know for some of you guys, you're at the live event and you're getting gems of wisdom dropped on you in the place. And for others who couldn't make it out to the actual event, you guys are online at the virtual summit getting fed the same exact way. So without a doubt, I was going to be a part of this summit. This is, I think, for me, either round 3 or round 4. Either way, I'm happy to be here to drop some gems, some wisdom, and some knowledge. So I want to talk to you guys today about a very, very powerful question. It's something that has sufficed in my growth as a speaker, as a teacher, as a trainer. It served me for the last 20 years as I've been getting on and off of stages with organizations such as Kroger's, Honda, Ford Motor Company, Toyota, General Electric, United States Postal Service, the United States military, and a host of many others. Even the idea that I give the people in my speaker training coaching program, I ask them the same exact question. And I'm gonna ask you this question today. Do you have your passport? You heard me. You can lean in a little bit. Do you have your passport? Now, I'm sure some of y'all that follow me know, like, wait a minute, brother, you normally is in the 3-piece dress code suit, you sharp enough to cut air. What's up with the downgrade today? Well, I'm in downgrade mode only because I'm in travel. So when Kern Sherry told us about this event, I didn't get a chance to get this message dropped at the comfort of the studio. So we're doing it on the fly. We're doing it on the road, which is super exciting when you guys understand where this message is actually going to. So let's get back to the question at hand. Do you have your passport? I remember many years ago when I got the opportunity for my first international speaking gig. A buddy of mine that was in the John Maxwell leadership team with me, who knew me pretty well, knew about my speaking progress, my speaking prowess. He had recommended a lead, and before I knew it, I found myself on this 3-way conference call, right? The lady on the phone introduced herself. She said she worked for the company PayPal. They were located out in Dubai. They were looking for a leadership speaker to come out and talk to 200 of their top female leadership executives, right? They wanted me to break down 2 one-hour sessions, 100 individuals apiece, and for that, they was gonna pay me $4,000. Now, let me be clear, a brother's budget has gone up, but back then, $4,000 was a pretty solid deal to speak for 2 hours. I wasn't mad about that, right? But they were also gonna pay for my flight. And you know, traveling international can be very, very expensive and get a little costly. They're gonna pay for my flight up as well as my flight back. And unlike a lot of organizations just want to pay for you to land there, speak the day of, maybe pay for your hotel for those 3 days before you ship out. Dubai said, no, we're gonna treat you in style. We want to actually cover your hotel stay for the course of the week. So you get to speak for 2 hours. We want you to enjoy the country. And you're going to pay a brother to do this? You know there's no way in the world I was going to refuse that, right? They made an offer, a very young Karim Ellis, this is before the doctor got slapped on the name, could refuse. And so before I knew it, I was already committing to the process. I was already committing to the game plan. But here was the problem. I didn't have a passport yet, right? I had committed to this international opportunity, and it was going to be my very first one, so I was ecstatic about it, but I didn't have a passport yet. So she let me know, we're going to pay for your flights. We need your passport number. And I stalled her. I told her something. I don't recommend you doing this, but I stalled her. I told her some crazy lie because I just knew in my mind I was going to pull all this stuff together before time was up. And so immediately I jumped on the passport website and I tried to figure out what they needed for a passport. So they made it clear we need a specific dimensional size photo for the passport. I think it was like a 4x6, and they said go to your local Walgreens. And so before I knew it, I shot out the house. I ran to Walgreens. I came dressed for success. I put on my best smile. So that passport would look 100. And then before you know it, I got all the stuff in order and I overnighted it to the passport company. Now, the passport company says it normally takes between 4 to 7 business days to get a passport generated and approved. But I didn't have that. Remember, I only had 30 days because the event was literally at the end of the month. And so they offered expedited service. Expedited service means you get your passport within 3 to 5 business days. So I think I paid a little bit over $500 to get this thing done. I sent it out certified mail hotel, overnighted so where I could track it, because I didn't want any reason or rhyme to be there that's going to block my ability to get to Dubai. And so I'm checking the website every day. I see where the United States Postal Service has delivered it. I'm online waiting for it to pop up. I'm blowing the phone up of the agency probably like every 2 days. I'm calling just to touch base to make sure they got it. And finally, they're like, Mr. Ellis, we got it. Give us some time. We got to process it. So I'm doing a mental check. They wanted my birth certificate. They wanted, I think, a copy of my social security number at that time. And I think that was all that they needed back then, a copy of my license. And so as I checked online, right, on day 3, because I'm thinking 3 is the minimum, they came back and said your passport request was denied. And I was confused. So of course I jumped on the phone with somebody ASAP, and I'm like, okay, what's the reason why it was denied? I'm running out of time. We're almost a week into this thing and I got like 3 weeks left to go. They said, Mr. Ellis, your passport was denied because you sent in a falsified document. And I'm looking at them saying, what was falsified? I gave you everything that was the original that I had. So they put me on hold while they went to check. 25 minutes later, they came back and said, yeah, the birth certificate you sent over to us, that was falsified. And I had an issue with that because in my mind, I said, no, it's not. There's nothing wrong with my birth certificate. This is the birth certificate that I was given when I left my house at the age of 18. They said, sir, we're looking at the birth certificate right now in real time. It has been falsified. It looks like there is the name Karim Ellis, which is my name, but it was put on the actual birth certificate using a labeling machine. And the glue on the sticky for that label had decided to come off at the one inopportune time. And underneath it said Karim Muslim Salam. So for that reason, we're not processing this passport. We got to figure out whether this is the real deal or not. So very quickly, I understood what took place. See, when I was born, my parents was practicing Islam. So I wasn't born Karim Ray Ellis. I was born Karim Muslim Salam. And then they converted over to Christianity when I was probably like around the age of 3 or 4. And so my name got changed to Karim Ray Ellis. We moved from Gary, Indiana to Cincinnati, Ohio, which is where I currently reside at. We don't know for how long, but that's where I reside at. But my parents had never gone back to Gary, Indiana to get the official name change done on a birth certificate. The court paperwork said it was done, but they never got an updated birth certificate. So at that point in time, the last 26 years of my life, I've been using that birth certificate for everything. It's what I used to get enrolled into school with elementary school. It's what I used to get my driver's license at 16. It's what I used to get my first apartment at 18. It's what I used to register to vote. I have been using this birth certificate all of my life, and for the first time, I'm realizing the birth certificate is a doctored piece of paper. And so now the hunt is on to get this done before time runs out. So before I know it, I find myself literally calling the Gary, Indiana Hall of Records. And I say, I need a birth certificate like yesterday. And they come back and say, well, we can expedite it, but that's going to be about 7 days. And I go, 7 days? I don't have 7 days. Can I drive to Gary, Indiana? I'll drive the 6+ hours to get there. This is how important this is to me. They said, we no longer take walk-in appointments. The only thing you can do is order it. And if you order it expedited, it may get there within 5 days, but that's a $20 fee for that. So I pay the $20 because I'm desperate. I'm already at the end of week 2. Remember, Dubai's at the end of the month. I only got 2 weeks left to go. They give me the updated birth certificate that has Karim Ray Ellis on there. I overnighted to the passport agency, so now they have it. And so now it's just a race against the clock. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally they process it and it goes through. And so they send out my passport. And so I get the passport the last week of the month. The event planners in panic mode saying, we got to get your tickets, but we can't do anything without the passport. And so I said, great news, I got the passport, here's the passport number. So I gave her the passport number so she could order the tickets online. And then she said, did you get a chance to get your visa, Mr. Ellis? And I had one of them Scooby-Doo moments. I'm like, Raggy, what's a visa? Right? I just thought I had to have a passport. That's all I needed. They said, no, you have to have approval to enter Dubai. You have to call the Indian visa agency to get permission, the Indian embassy. And so I get on the phone with them and I say, I need to get a visa ASAP. I got to be out of here in like 5 days. They go, well, Mr. Ellis, it's not going to happen. I said, why? They said, because it takes 72 hours for a passport, for a visa to be approved, which is 3 days. And unfortunately, we don't work on the weekends and we have a government holiday on Monday. So even if you sent the information over today online, it would not get here in enough time to get your visa approved. I didn't know what to say. I was discouraged. I was disheartened. I had worked so hard. You know, brother was telling all his friends and peers, I'm going to go crush it internationally in Dubai. I'm telling everybody about this opportunity. And now I'm sitting there thinking that it's not going to happen. So there's a little bit of embarrassment that I'm dealing with. There's a little bit of anger that I'm dealing with because I was upset with God. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was moving by faith, not by sight. I was believing all these things were gonna manifest because I just jumped out there. I was spending all types of crazy dough to get stuff expedited and pulled forward. And now I'm being told at the last minute, it's not gonna happen. Up until this stage in my career, guys, I had never missed a speaking opportunity. Literally, I never missed a speaking opportunity. So this was the first one I ever had to miss. And so I had to call the event planner responsibly and let her know I'm not gonna make it out. And that was the longest conversation in my mind ever. Even though it was like 2 minutes long, it was like the longest one ever because I knew I was going to be one of 3 keynoters speaking at the event. And she kind of surprised me. She said, Mr. Ellis, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We had another American that was coming out, and unfortunately, they were the same situation. They couldn't get approved in time for it. So we understood everything was a time crunch. Now, if you remember my group, I'll tell you what really happened because speakers event planners don't wait to 30 days before a big event to bring you out. Usually that means somebody canceled. So we talk about that a little bit more in detail for folks like, man, I want to speak, but I got to know the tricks of speaking internationally, right? But once I got off the phone with her, I had to call my buddy that was to connect because I didn't want to make him look bad and say, hey, man, listen, we just didn't have the time. We tried everything we could to make this opportunity a reality, and it's not going to work. And I know I kind of let him down a little bit because he put me out there. He put his name on the line for me. So that was another lesson that I learned. But as I sat on that couch, and I watched people inboxing me because people would believe that I was already leaving out of the country for that flight. I started to get angry with my parents. I started to get real angry with my parents. And here's the reason why I got angry with my parents, because I felt like this was their fault. You ever have a situation blow up in your face and now you want to place blame on someone so you feel just a minuscule better? Well, I was in that place and space. I want to feel a minuscule better. So now I'm calling up my parents to give them a piece of my mind because I can't understand for the life of me why you would let me walk on this planet with a doctorate certificate and think that somehow, some way that this was not going to blow up back in my face again, right? And so I'm letting them have it. I'm upset. I'm supposed to be in Dubai. They was going to pay me 4 stocks to do this. They was going to pay for the flight up and the flight back. They was going to pay for the hotel stay so I can be in Dubai for a week. And this is all coming to a crash and stop because y'all decided to take the easy way out as opposed to going back and doing it the right way. You doctored the certificate and I was unknown about it. And they said their apologies. It was very apologetic because they understood how much the opportunity meant to me. And, you know, sometimes when somebody apologizes, ain't really nothing you could do but just take the apology. So you just kind of like, dang, but I still kind of want to be mad. But they said the apology, but I still kind of want to be mad. So as I got off that phone and I sat on that couch in the dark, I still wasn't satisfied. I still was a little upset. So I turned my anger on God. Now, I think me and God got a kind of a cool relationship where I can be upset with him and be honest. I ain't got to worry about getting hit by no lightning bolts. I ain't got to worry about him opening up the ground that I stand on and swallowing me up. I could be honest with him and let him know my feelings because that's what happens in a friendship relationship. You could be honest about how you feel. And so I said, God, I'm upset. And the reason why I'm upset because I did all this legwork to go to Dubai. You said to walk by faith, not by sight. I didn't know how this was going to come together. I spent money. I ran around. I did everything I could do without failing, without ceasing. Even when things seemed bleak, I was 100% on the front line trying to get things done. And I can't understand for the life of me why. I can't understand for the life of me why you did not allow this to go forth. I'm angry at you right now. I'm very, very angry. I'm embarrassed. I was telling everybody about this opportunity and I'm not there. I'm not there. And God shifted everything. He shifted the atmosphere in the room and said something that I always remember to this day. He said, Karim, this is your fault. I had no one of them Scooby-Doo moments like, Raggy? Well, what do you mean it's my fault? He said, this is your fault. Okay, so time out. How is this my fault? I mean, again, let's be 100 with this. I was born. I had no say of the birth certificate. I didn't know the birth certificate was doctored. All my life, I'm utilizing this birth certificate at my parents' permission because they're the ones that helped to get the birth certificate drawn up. I'm using this birth certificate. I have no clue that they have altered the document until now. Of all times, Murphy's Law says that which can go wrong goes wrong at the one inopportune time. And now is the inopportune time. But by faith, I did everything I thought I was supposed to do. So how again is this my fault, sir? We need to have a conversation about this. How is this my fault? He says, this is your fault. I need you to lean in for this, right? I need you to lean in for this. He says, this is your fault because you'll prepare for the opportunity you believe you're going to take. I'm going to say that again because I need everyone under the sound of my voice to really, really hear this. I'm glad it quieted down where I'm at. You'll prepare for the opportunity you believe you're going to take. You only saw yourself as a local speaker, so you prepared yourself for a local journey. If you would have saw yourself as an international speaker before you stepped up to the plate, if you saw yourself as international back when you first hit the desire to speak and dream big, if you saw yourself as international before this whole thing jumped off, you would have hit the passport in hand before the opportunity knocked on your door and showed up. I mean, he was right. He was right. As angry as I was, as upset as I was, as crushed as my feelings were, he was right. I never saw myself as being international with my gift, my talent, my message, my method, my madness. So I prepared myself for a local journey. It was cool to cross state lines and go from Ohio to Indiana, from Ohio to Kentucky, from Ohio to Florida, from Ohio to Atlanta, from Ohio to Wisconsin, from Ohio to California. But never once in the theory of what God put me here to do did I think about the fact that he wants to take my gift, my talent, my message, my madness, my mayhem, and take it all around the globe. So I never prepared for international. I only prepared for local. The reason why this message is so powerful is I want to ask you this question while you're here, right? What type of journey are you preparing yourself for? Better yet, do you have your passport? See, the beautiful thing about a passport is a passport can get you into places and spaces that you can't get into without having that type of passport permission. See, I don't need a passport to travel locally in the States, but I need a passport to take my message outside the States, right? So if I really want to be super successful and I want to take God at his word that he can pour me out a blessing that I will have room in my cupboard to receive, I have to start the journey with vision. That's the reason why I put out that best-selling Amazon book that some of you purchased called GPS My Success. The address determines the destination, meaning I want you to be super clear in this season about the address you put inside your GPS, because the address will always determine the destination. The thing that's so crazy is this. The reason why I'm so dressed down, guys, is even as we speak, I'm actually talking to you guys from inside an airport. And you'll never guess where it's at, right? I'm inside an airport inside lovely Dubai. It took many years to get here, right? But here we stand walking inside the airport of Dubai on the next leg of my flight to New Delhi, India, where I'll be keynoting a powerful leadership conference called the ISA 2022 Awards. So I thought it only fitting that the one biggest defeat I had in the speaking business, I got a chance to recreate the right way by dropping you this gem inside of lovely Dubai. The passport, right? It's important because for many of you, you got goals and dreams that are larger than where you are right now. And part of the problem we have is we tend to build a business based on where we see ourselves in the present, but we don't ever look towards the future, right? I want you to be a bit of a futurist after you watch this video. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what your gift and talent is, what your education is, or your lack thereof, what your finances look like, even if your money's a little bit funny, I want you to look towards the future without limitations. Because one of the reasons I'm here right now, because I learned to live my life without limitations, which means it's not my job to just be good. It's my job to be great. It's not my job just to dream. It's my job to dream in high definition, right? I want to dream something that's so powerful and so impulsive, right? That it's contagious to other folks around me. So when other folks see me walking a vision, I cause other people to want to dream just as big, right? From speaking locally to speaking on stage with Mr. Les Brown to speaking all over the world internationally, this has been one hell of a powerful journey. We've lost a few folks along the way. We've gained a bunch as we got closer and closer to the dream, the goal, and reality. But it's my encouragement today to let you know, get your passport, right? And I ain't talking about just in the physical sense, right? I ain't talking about just in the physical sense. I mean in the mental sense. Inside this passport, it's been stamped with every country I've had the pleasure, the privilege, and the honor to go visit on this journey. Same thing works for you. Maybe you're not a speaker in this season. Maybe you're an entrepreneur or business owner, right? What does your passport say? Where are you taking this business to in this next season of your growth, right? For some of you, it may be, hey, you're looking to, retire a little bit early or build financial wealth or, just line some stuff up for the family, for the kids. Again, where does your passport allow you to go to? Because the problem most of us out here, we dream smaller than we should, and so we achieve lesser than we're supposed to have. I'm gonna leave with this powerful note. Get your passport. Now, if you love this message, you want to connect with me, you already know what you need to do. Connect with me at www.karimellis.com. KarimEllis.com, or if you're on Instagram, jump onto that Instagram and connect with a brother, Karim Ellis 2.0. For individuals that connect with me over on Instagram, do me a favor. Follow. First follow. Instructions is key. You follow. Then let me know that you heard this message at Karim Sherry's event. And then just for being obedient, because the scripture says your obedience is better than sacrifice, right? Your obedience is better than sacrifice. I want to offer you something free. I want to offer you a free e-copy of GPS My Success, that book that kind of set the stage for where I'm at right now, and the book that also became Amazon bestseller in 7 different categories. Also got the foreword by my mentor, the one and only Mr. Les Brown. So if you jump on over to my Instagram, I got you covered. I'm gonna hook you up with a free copy of GPS My Success. But here's the catch. You got 48 hours after Karim Sherry drops this gem. That's it. Don't come 5 days afterwards. Don't come 10 days afterwards. Don't come 15 days afterwards. If you don't follow instructions, to hop on over to that Instagram, give me a follow, and then DM me and say, hey, I heard this message and I'm ready. I heard this message. I got my passport. That's what I want to hear you say. I heard this message. I got my passport. Then I got you. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna connect you. I'll give you a free copy of GPS My Success. Remember, you've been empowered to win. Stop playing and lose. And all that you do, I encourage you to be blessed. This is Dr. Karim Ray Ellis signing off from the lovely city of Dubai, soon to be rocking it out in New Delhi, India at the 2022 ISA Leadership Award Summit. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Everybody at the event, the summit, be blessed.